Okay, it's 7 o'clock, so we have a public hearing scheduled for 7 o'clock on the 2016 preliminary budget. Since I introduced the budget at our last meeting, the town board did have a workshop, and there was some minor changes totaling, I think, about $7,000 that we added to the budget. So tonight is the public hearing on that budget, so I will officially open the public hearing. Is there anybody signed up to speak? This is good. Okay, since no one has signed up to speak or would like to speak, I'll close the public hearing. I will now call to order the regular monthly meeting of the town board, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Supervisor Johnson?
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Stryker?
Here.
Councilwoman Klepetar?
Here.
Councilman Lent?
Here.
Councilman McEachern?
Here. Okay, at this part of the meeting is our public comment session. Tina, can you see if anybody signed up for that?
Nope, they are both blank.
All right, we'll move on. The first item of business is we have the minutes pending from our October meeting. There's a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes or recommended changes, amendments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Okay, we have the 2016 preliminary budget with the amendments made through the workshops. Is there a motion to adopt?
I make a motion to adopt the 16 budget, town of Wilton.
Could I ask a couple questions regarding it, because I was out of town?
Yeah, let me get a second first, and then...
Okay.
Second.
And second to, okay. Let you in.
Okay, I had several questions, and I apologize, because I was away when you were doing the workshops, and I missed the whole process. So, the questions that I had were, one is snow removal. I'm not sure, is that for town hall? Is that an additional snow removal?
For some removal where?
What's that?
No, where are you talking about the snow removal?
No, in the budget.
Oh, yeah.
That's what
We're
I'm-
definitely doing snow removal.
No, I know that, but is that like for snow removal? So I just didn't know. It was like $300-some thousand.
All town property and town roads.
The highways.
Oh, that's just the highway?
Buildings or
Oh, okay,
buildings or
okay.
buildings.
All right, so that was one question I had. The other is crossing guard. Is that Dorothy Nolan School?
Yeah, from the trailer park across, we pay a crossing guard
Okay,
to direct those children across.
okay.
They need direction.
They do need direction,
Yes.
that's for sure. The other one, there was an item on here that had a zero amount, and it said receptionist. I was just wondering about what that was.
My guess is that we have that receptionist position out there and there's nobody in it, so there's no funding for it. Jeff, you correct me if I'm
Yeah,
wrong.
that's correct. We had a receptionist a long time, and the line is still there, but we don't fund it.
Okay. The other item was town clerk. It looked like it went from 89,000 something to 109. From 2015 to 2016. I was just wondering about the $20,000 jump.
That's the part-time position that was added.
What part-time position?
You want me to talk, or you want to talk?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sue requested a part-time position for tax season and other times when there's someone comes in the building and there's nobody here, and if you want to
Yeah, it's like
elaborate on
going back to the
that.
receptionist position, we had receptionists here for years, okay? After she left, we felt that there wasn't enough work for a receptionist up there. But now we're to the point where we combine the office of the tax receiver and the town clerk, saving money there. So Sue now would like to have some coverage, part-time coverage, especially during tax season. And so this person would sit out front here.
Okay.
And she hasn't decided what hours they're gonna be yet, but it would be a part-time person to sit in the receptionist area to help Sue and Julie during the busy season.
Okay. So mostly to greet people that come in and usher them where they need to go, or answer the phones?
Answer that.
It's more for the town clerk and tax receivers department.
Okay.
I mean, they certainly can direct people, which we do anyway. It's really fallen on us. We're the first two doors.
Okay.
And I also had, Julie was out for 2 weeks during the first 2 weeks of tax season, and it's a burden. There's no room for error in that department, so we really needed some extra coverage.
Okay. So this person would learn a lot of the things that you take care of now? And the things that Julie takes care of? Okay. Well, that sounds fine to leave it in the budget, but I had another thought. This is probably something that nobody has ever done, but I would like to volunteer for that position to save the town some money. I would. I have time, and I can do it.
Well, we can talk about that.
Let's
I mean,
talk about it.
We'll leave the money in the budget at this point in time, and if we don't spend it, and you're
Okay.
willing to do that, then it's something we can talk.
Okay? I think I might.
Okay.
Yeah, see what goes on here. Thank you. That's all I have. Those are the only questions I have.
Okay, any other questions or comments on the budget from the board?
No.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, so go to vote. All in favor of adopting the 2016 budget? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Just want to take a minute again to thank Jeff, first of all, and actually the town board for their insight and workshop and input on the budget. And I think it's a really good budget for the residents of the town, want no taxes again, and provide all the services that we have always provided in the past, and so I think it's a really good budget. I want to thank all of you and Jeff as well, so.
Well done.
Next, comprehensive land use plan update. This has been going on since last fall, I believe. There was a very well thought out committee that was put together, and Ryan kind of led it, and our consultant from MJ Engineering, Jackie Hakes, is out here, and we're at that final stage where we're ready to adopt it. It was a great process, very open and transparent process. The public had every opportunity to give their input, as well as all the town board members, and thank you for all your comments and input. I know two of our town board members were on that committee, Steve Stryker and Joanne. We're both on that committee, as well as the other committee members. They did a great job, they met regularly, and I think we've ended up with a really good product. So I think there are two resolutions we need to do.
Correct.
The first being the seeker findings.
That's correct.
And I think you have a copy before you that Mark has provided to everybody. So I look for a motion to approve.
The first one you can
approve the secret finding statement. If you do so, then you'll be picking see in the last paragraph, there's a choice certify / does not certify, and then now therefore be it resolved final paragraph. If there's a motion to approve the secret finding statement, then you would be certifying, as opposed to not certifying, that the action is one that avoids or minimizes adverse environmental impacts to the maximum extent practicable.
Someone like to move that?
Yeah, I'll make forth a motion to approve the seeker findings.
I'll second it.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. And then what's the second one, Mark?
It's also in your packet. The second one is entitled Adoption of the 2015 Comprehensive Plan and Final Generic Environmental Impact Statement. And that one, you'll notice in the final sentence says, now therefore be it resolved that the Wilton Town Board hereby adopts / or does not adopt the 2015 Comprehensive Plan and Final GEIS. So that would be your decision.
We're ready to adopt, so.
Make a motion to adopt.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that resolution? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Thank you all, and again, thank you for the work of the committee, Ryan especially, and Jackie.
Thank
Great
you.
job.
Yeah, just to give credit where credit is due, MJ prepared those resolutions. I just revised them slightly.
Thank you.
Well, we thank you too, Mark. Okay, are there any committee reports? I just have one. It's not really a report, but on the 21st of this month, if anybody knows any veterans, I tried to get a list of Vietnam veterans that are living in town, but there is a function at on the 21st at the City Center. It's being sponsored by Saratoga County, and there's a whole committee on the 50th anniversary of Vietnam vets. If anybody knows anybody, make sure that they're invited to that event. There will be a letter going out, but always someone gets missed. So I just want to make sure that there's any vets out there that they are not missed and they attend that event. Jeff, Controller's report.
Okay, the first one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff.
Back in June, Vito and Elizabeth Trampina, how do you say that? Trapani, live on 661 Travers Road. They were selling their house and into the leach field problem. And they were told they had to tie into the county, $14,000, they couldn't afford it. And then in the meantime, their house got on fire. And I think they've changed their plans, and insurance didn't cover everything. They've used a lot of their savings now to finish the house. And even on these things, it talks about, it says it's recommended. They don't, I can't see what it says it's a law. I think the town board should grant them, grandfather, whatever you call it, to just repair or replace that leach field.
That's what I remember from...
We do more for big businesses in this town than we do for our town residents, it seems. And I've been here 40-some years, I like to stay here, and...
Ryan, you know where that stands? I know whether they're still selling it now that there was a fire.
I talked to them the other day, they decided to stay here now.
Yeah, I haven't really been updated on anything as far as that. Last remember, we were talking about the, building codes as being the issue, and Mark Mikens enforcing that, if it's, I think language may be feasible to tie in when you have a failing septic system. So I'm not sure where it went from there.
Well, I talked to Mark, he said as long as the town board approved it, he left it off his hands, and they realize it has to be done right.
I think last time we were talking about this,
we all wanted to say something, but I think, Mark, you mentioned not to say much. Had to be something that was, if we got involved, it might be against the town's, doings to agree to do anything that, if it was by the state regulations,
Right, I mean, I think this is a state building code issue, as I recall.
A plumbing code, yeah.
Right,
State
but
building code.
part of the New York State Uniform Fire Prevention and Building Code. So we need to be careful, because the town board only has very, very, very limited authority to authorize variance from the New York State Uniform Fire Prevention and Building Code. There is a state, Department of State variance board that has that authority. People can avail themselves of that, and under certain limited circumstances, you have the authority to meet as a Board of Health and issue variances from some provisions of the building codes, sanitary sewage disposal code and the like. If you want to do that, that requires a hearing, there's a bunch of process that has to happen. But I don't know, as we sit here, if this even falls within the ability to do that. As best of my recollection, this was a straight New York State Uniform Fire Prevention and Building Code issue, and if that's true, you don't have the authority to grant the variance. We can find out, I just don't know the answer.
Yeah,
for
why
sure, as
don't
we sit
we
here, but that's my
find
recollection.
out, what their plans are, and maybe talk with Mark Mikens as to, maybe...
No, it's funny, the town board doesn't have any, or town people don't have any say of their own town, they just come up with money.
Did some of this have to do with the fact that they were going to sell it, and that's why they had to up?
No, I think that
Probably got
the
jacked
letter,
and-
For their perspective, maybe, but legally, no, that's not a fact.
the letter I read said as long as they put it in the exact same spot without making any changes, it can be
Right, that's what
done.
Mark told me.
Right, it could be done if they alter it in any way, then it falls under that.
They would have to, the existing septic system, they would have to move the location. It would require a professional engineer to design it if it was a replacement system, is what they call. And, but that's,
But it's a failing leach field, not a septic.
The septic, it was a leach field.
right, the leach field would have to be relocated into a different area, and it would require a professional engineer to design that. And, but there is that provision if sanitary sewer system is available,
That's right.
then if it's feasible to make that connection. So
Yeah.
that's, some of the language that's in there.
Does the town board have the authority to waive the fees to tie into the Wilton?
That would be Wilton Water and Sewer Authority.
Yeah, it's not us either, so I think we need to defer to our town attorney on this, and we can look into it, and maybe the code enforcement officer has some discretion, I'm not sure, so we can look into that as well. So.
All right.
Any other committee reports? Okay, Jeff, Controller's report.
Okay, first one of the 2015 budget amendments that require town board approval. Any questions?
It's just, is everybody aware of the AED requests? Is it,
Where are they placing them? Where are they placing them?
in each of the town buildings?
Town hall, the garage, court, and the senior building.
And they will be compatible with the Wilton emergency squads, and I think the fire departments are going to be the same.
The same as theirs.
So,
And are they purchasing them all at the same time?
yeah, we're getting them through the emergency squad is going to
Yeah, because they're about ready to buy them so we can get a good price.
Better price.
a lesser price, and they're going to monitor them and
They're going to
maintain them.
expire at the same time too then. So it'll be like, what are they good for, like 10 years?
I think.
So there's there's four for here, senior center,
Court, and highway.
Our fire district buying them too with them, so they
Right.
get, the
Yeah, I see the price, the
Better
price looks
price.
good.
okay, just to make sure you knew what that was.
Just don't want to use it. Know what it is.
All right, so is there a motion to approve the budget amendments as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the amended comptroller's report.
A second?
Second.
A motion, a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, next one is a personal item. The town board needs to ratify the decision to promote Tammy Morgan to the senior clerk position, effective October 20th at a rate of pay of $18.09. Tammy took the exam, she's reachable, and we do have the open item here. She's been a long-standing employee with the town, so. Town board.
Very good employee. I make a motion to appoint her senior clerk.
I'll second it.
A motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, next one has to do with the town's employee handbook that all of our employees receive every year, and they have to sign off on it. However, the handbook we have it's pretty large, okay, and it was put together by a committee that the supervisor put together years ago, and every year, the town board, we provide updates and we amend them in January. However, over time, we're not experts when it comes to labor laws and stuff like that. And Nancy's been working with HR consultants who have been in here a number of times dealing with some issues. And our supervisor, Art and Johnson and Nancy, and myself believe that we should consult with HR consultants to have them come in, revamp our personnel policy, make sure it's up to code, and we're adhering to all the labor laws that are out there, the different policies that are out there. So it's really
What it does is protect
Protects
us.
us.
And it protects the employee too, so.
Yeah, there are a lot of things out there that are changing all the
Things have
time.
changed, right.
Drug policies, CDL policies, sexual harassment, workplace violence, all those types of things that, we need to be up to date, and when hopefully none of those things happen, but if they do, that we follow the proper procedures.
So if the town board is willing to go ahead with this, we need to make a budget amendment, add a contingency into the personal line item of $5,250.
I make a motion, we do it.
I'll second it.
A motion, a second. Any questions or discussions?
Is this something that has to go out for bid?
It's professional services, so no.
So no. Well, I would like to find out if there's someone locally in the town of Wilton that does this kind of thing. I don't know how you would find out, but,
Well, we've used HR consultants.
We've used them.
oh, I know that.
I'm
I know
happy
that.
with them.
We have a very good relationship with them, and they know the town, so I think it would only make sense to do that. It's a very specialized field. I don't know that you'd find some, they are local in a certain, well, they're in the capital district, I think they're Schenectady, or Mal,
Scotia.
Scotia.
Yeah, she's from Glenville.
I don't know that there's a particular firm in town that, we could do that, so, we've been satisfied with their work. I don't know why we...
I just bring that up because it seems very pricey to me, but...
I think we all kind of thought that as well, but when you break it down, though, with what may be involved and the hourly rate to do it, it's...
And they're gonna talk to everybody about
Yeah,
all
that's the-
employees.
I was just looking
right?
that up. I think of that $5,250, $750 is the cost for her to come in and explain to all the employees to hold some meetings, so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we didn't vote yet. We have a motion and a second, right? All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye. I am.
Okay, so motion carries 4-1.
Okay, the last item, the town was successful in receiving a grant from the county in the amount of $12,500 for some trail work. I'm asking the town board because this is going to start in 2015 and go over 2016, so I'm asking the town board to set up a new capital project for 45 town trails to be funded with the grant from the county in addition to another $12,500 worth of traffic mitigation.
I make a motion to do it.
This has to do with the Bullard Lane.
Yeah, the trails over.
Could you explain a little bit of that?
Well, it's We're looking at the recently acquired land that's off of, north of Jones Road and kind of southwest of Bullard Lane, 38 acres of land that the town acquired. So we're looking to make a trail connection from the existing trails of the county land down across Bullard Lane and into this area, which eventually will connect to Jones Road and Gavin Park trail system.
Yeah, this is that land we acquired through the
Yeah.
public, through the county on a tax sale.
These funds will be used to survey that parcel and come up with the trails, connect the trails.
And hopefully that will be a whole connection down to
Not
Jones
cheap
Road. at
to
some
make a
point.
trail, is it?
Like the old days.
I second it.
Okay, a motion and a second. Any other questions, or discussion on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'm opposed.
Opposed to trail?
Well, no, I'm not, I guess like to know, they're just gonna be using equipment to clear out trees? What's,
It's gonna be, it's gonna be for the trail, you know, we have to survey the land.
Okay.
We have to get our boundaries. We have to come up with a trail, a pathway through the trail, you know, it's probably not just gonna be a straight shot
Bridges.
through. You know, we're gonna have to look around, you know, wetlands, avoid the wetlands, make the trail connections on Bullard Lane.
Marking.
Some legal issues on the Bullard Lane extension. And, you know, create a pathway down to Jones Road and make any other existing trail connections, maybe from Camp Saratoga over.
okay.
Yeah, it's all part of our trail system comprehensive plan.
Right, it's in the comprehensive plan, having the trail connection through there.
So this just helps fund.
Help fund it and help.
All right, I'll vote yes for that.
We change that committee.
I'm not on that. It's not the trail committee.
Okay,
Not comprehensive plan. Doesn't mean I have to vote yes for that.
all right. We do need to have an executive session. Our Dan Vincelette, our attorney handling our Article 7 matters, is here. There are a couple of cases that we need to discuss in executive session on litigation. We need a motion to adjourn to executive session.
Can I make public comment? I signed up and I apologize.
Oh.
Coming in late.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to commend the comprehensive plan. It's really amazing. You know, I didn't read every single word because it's pretty lengthy, but it's quite something. I guess my question is, there's a statement about protecting the environment, and I feel we have a little piece of heaven here. We have so much beautiful land, development, everything, but I see buildings go up all the time, so I'm not sure how you're answering the dichotomy of building and then protecting the environment as stated, as well as stated as in honoring the history. I can't remember the exact statement. And we have Grant's Cottage here. So I'm just raising the issue. I see buildings going up, but yet you raise the point of protecting the environment.
Could you give us your name, please,
Carol Shopstar,
and where you live?
6 Chipmunk Chase. And thirdly, selfishly, I have a very active dog. I went to vote, and there's signs all over. There's no dogs allowed. Why can't we have a dog park? There's one in Malta. There's one in Saratoga Springs. Don't quite get that because I'm a responsible pet owner. I know many of my friends are responsible about picking up, cleaning up. I don't get that either.
Are dogs allowed, at the Wilton Wildlife Nature Preserve?
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about Gavin Park.
Yeah, Gavin Park, we have a lot of kids that play, and if a dog got loose, it might, possibility of biting a child while they're playing a game. Yeah, there are,
The fence.
okay.
You're talking about an area in Gavin Park for dogs only. Or for dog owners.
Okay.
They're all in play room.
Sent it to me last week.
That would be nice.
Thank you. So anyway, we need a motion to go to executive session, discuss litigation.
I'll make a motion.
Your second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. There may be some action taken, or resolutions coming out of executive session? Not sure. You want to hang around?